For the few that have actually read any terms and conditions, what sneaky things have you found? Thank you, customer, for actually reading our terms and conditions. Send us an email with the following content and we will send you a free box of chocolates. They did indeed send chocolate. Ctrl+F reading on every terms and conditions now. Or other keywords. Result 1 of 1219. 1219 boxes of chocolates, here I come. If you make money on TikTok, the owners can rightfully take the money. They can also use your videos and their advertisements without your permission, even if the videos are private. Codeco had to deal with this. Hippity hoppity, your TikTok is my property. Hoppity hoods, we can make money of your nudes. I feel like there would be some kind of age exception to this. I get this is super surprising, but I read the entire lease for my first apartment and apparently, I couldn't get out of my lease even if I died. Might be so they have a claim against your estate for the remainder of the rent for the year. In the hiring contract for the last company I worked for, there was a line buried on page like 22 that said if you email a certain email address on your first day saying you saw the line, you'd get a bonus day of PTO for the year. Did you get the bonus day? Nope, lol. Why not? 'Cause I didn't read it. TC I get, but not reading an employment contract? That's asking to get screwed. Edit, since a lot of people are not sure why you should read contracts before signing them: 1. Even if you can't change it, knowing what you're contractually obligated to do is a good idea. 2. Even if you think you can't change it, it's worth asking, especially if you know it will be a problem. How the employer responds will also tell you something about them, and your asking for changes tells them something about you. 3. If something is really wrong, get a lawyer if you can afford one. This is something that's a big deal and will probably impact your life a lot. It's worth understanding. Sony can sue you for literally not updating your console software if you're connected to internet. What? Probably to go after people who jailbreak, if they decided to care at some point. They do care actually. They stopped producing PS Vita, but they still update its firmware and close potential hacking doors. Because they don't want another PS3 plus Linux debacle. Most of that was avoided because they're not selling current consoles below cost, but legal wants it in there anyway. That was the most backstabbing update they've ever pulled. It removed backwards compatibility with my old games too. GameStation once made an Immortal Soul clause on April Fool's Day, to prove that no one actually reads the terms and conditions. It read, by placing an order via this website on the first day of the 4th month of the year 2010 Anno Domini, you agree to grant us a non-transferable option to claim, for now and forevermore, your immortal soul. The devil's in the details. Detective. Lucifer, not right now, I'm busy. #detective. I don't have a story myself, but I've found this article about a man who won a $1,000 giveaway that was hidden in the EULA of an app. The 3,000 people who installed the program before him didn't bother to read it. Whoa, that's awesome. I'm almost tempted to read EULAs now. Almost. I don't know if they changed it, but when you chose the fragile tie-in in a mail system like FedEx, that didn't mean they would take special care of it, but that you admitted that it was fragile and therefore it could be broken without being their fault, leaving you unable to sue them for breaking your package or to ask any reimbursement. And of course, if you don't mark it as fragile and it breaks, it's still your fault for not letting them know that they should take extra care of it. What a joke. I've dealt with similar shit with Royal Mail running a huge business online, straight up easiest solution to their duckery. Post something to a friend, mark it as 100 value, make a fake eBay invoice for it and have your friend draw a cock on the signature box and say it never arrived 3 weeks later. Literally had them send a 200 necklace to fucking China, lose it in customs, then refuse to reimburse us. It was meant to go to France. Please explain more. You have up to 21? 28? Days to claim a parcel didn't arrive. They may ask the driver if they remember you, Or they will check your signature. 20 days later the driver won't remember you and you've ensured that your signature doesn't match the one they got. When it comes to paying out, they will occasionally request proof of the item's value, which can be done by viewing the page source on Firefox with an eBay invoice open and adjusting the values to appear as you like. Worked loss prevention fraud CS at varying levels. Been meaning to write a book on it all. So many ways to duck companies over practically risk-free. Royal Mail actually tried to argue in court that if you buy insurance with them they don't have to pay out because there isn't a contract formed. They lost. I have no words for the duckery of that. A while ago, 2011, there was a scam work-from-home service widely advertised all over Facebook and other places, promising enormous paychecks and a free trial. It was an opt-out subscription service, as you might expect. Curious as to how the scam worked, I looked at their TCS. There was a clause in there requiring you to pay $10,000 in compensation to the company if you filed a chargeback against their fees. Whilst that would never stand up in court, dealing with debt collectors who might conveniently offer to settle for a mere $3,000 would be all sorts of hell. Nutriboom? Boom boom, baby. Boom boom, Bill. Boom boom. I am happy and alive. On Amazon, anytime they want they can take away from me the books that I bought on Kindle Store. It's the same with Steam games, but I hope that everyone who uses Steam was already aware of this. Edit: since this is gaining traction, here's the specific line: the content and services are licensed, not sold. Your license confers no title or ownership in the content and services. This line isn't in the agreement to bully people because that would cost them their platform really quickly. It's in there in case they shut down or decide to ban you. But it's still in there. You don't own your Steam library. I can't get into my old account because my Yahoo address was compromised and I don't know what my debit card number from 2006 was. By the time I thought to get it from the bank they didn't have a record with it either. There was a really cool game on there that I never got to finish and I have no idea what it was called. For any detectives out there, what I remember is that I played it in 05 or 06, it was a FPS, I think you were a mercenary or something because with everyone you killed you got money to buy gear with. Kinda like a precursor to Borderlands. I know you could equip a riot shield with pistol, that's how I rolled, as well as whatever other usual guns they had. I think there might have been a talent point system but I'm not positive. Edit: the game I was thinking of is Bet on Soldier. Great game for its time if it stands the test of time. There is a subreddit dedicated to finding these things. Let me find it, or tip of my joystick. Why does this sound like a porn Reddit for gamers? Because her tip of my penis also exists. If you want to take Huawei to court you have to take them to court in China. What they don't tell you is that it's near impossible for a foreigner to win a court case in China. That's typical of Chinese business. It's like how they will ignore all of your copyrights and patents, but if you infringe on theirs they will literally bring you down with lawsuits to the point that you may as well not exist. That is one of many reasons that I am a scared Australian who is slowly having the land around them, and all of our farms and other assets purchased by China. Edit: I don't know how China ignores our parents. Also, who is China's parents? I can't say for Australia, but I've recently pieced together that rich Chinese people are buying up property in America because they're planning to bail. Quality of life in China is slowly creeping back to the Cultural Revolution, total state dictatorship. Only this time the government is heavily investing in security tech to track citizens' every movement, thought, and conversation. They're staying where the money is for now, but quietly preparing for the day when shit gets dystopian. Yeah, that has been going on for a long time. West coast of Canada has a lot of it. There are stringent limits on how much money can be moved out of country. This is also a big part of why they buy really expensive artwork, or make artwork really expensive because this creates a bigger demand for it. Amazon's AWS service terms contain a clause pertaining to a zombie apocalypse. No, really, however, this restriction will not apply in the event of the occurrence, certified by the United States Centers for Disease Control or successor body, of a widespread viral infection transmitted via bites or contact with bodily fluids that causes human corpses to reanimate and seek to consume living human flesh, blood, brain or nerve tissue, and is likely to result in the fall of organized civilization. What was the restriction and what was it being applied to? The whole section is about Amazon's Lumberyard Materials, an engine used for developing video games. Here's the full text of the paragraph in question. Your use of the Lumberyard materials must comply with the AWS Acceptable Use Policy. The Lumberyard materials are not intended for use with life-critical or safety-critical systems, such as use in operation of medical equipment, automated transportation systems, autonomous vehicles, aircraft or air traffic control, nuclear facilities, manned spacecraft, or military use in connection with live combat. However, this restriction will not apply in the event of the occurrence, certified by the United States Centers for Disease Control or successor body, of a widespread viral infection transmitted via bites or contact with bodily fluids that causes human corpses to reanimate and seek to consume living human flesh, blood, brain or nerve tissue and is likely to result in the fall of organized civilization. Good to know we can use Amazon's game engine to run a nuclear power plant in the event of a zombie apocalypse. Why stop there? If the dead start rising, we can use Amazon's game engine to run a combat-oriented spaceship.